I spent exactly $500 on Alibaba inventory, but by the time it reached my door, I had paid nearly $800. Most people look at the unit price, click order, and get blindsided by fees that can bankrupt a small business. Today, I'm breaking down every single receipt to show you exactly where that money goes. First, let's look at the product cost. I ordered 100 custom-branded tech organizers. The supplier quoted me $5 per unit. That's a clean $500 total. Easy, right? It feels like a steal until you see the X Works term in the fine print. EXW, or X Works, is the trap. It means the supplier's responsibility ends the second the box leaves their factory floor. They aren't paying for shipping to the port. They aren't paying for export clearance, and they certainly aren't paying for the freight to your house. You are responsible for everything. Next comes the freight forwarder. Don't rely on the supplier to handle shipping unless you want a massive markup. I hired an independent forwarder. They charged me $120 to pick up the goods from the factory, clear them through customs in China, and put them on a plane to my local warehouse. Here's where the hidden fees start to stack up. You'll see a line item called documentation fee. It sounds like a simple paperwork charge, but it's essentially an industry standard fee for processing the airway bill. That was another $45. Then, there's the fuel surcharge. Since I shipped via air, the price of jet fuel is passed directly to me. Because oil prices were volatile that week, the carrier added a $30 surcharge on top of the base shipping rate. You can't avoid this, but you need to budget for it. Now, let's talk about the big one, import duties. The U.S. Customs and Border Protection doesn't care how much you paid for shipping. They care about the value of the goods. I paid a 7.5% tariff on my $500 product value, which added $37.50 to the cost. But wait, there's a customs brokerage fee. Even if the government charges you a tariff, you often have to pay a private company to file the paperwork for you. My broker charged $50 to ensure my items cleared U.S. Customs without being seized. If your shipment is large, you might face warehousing or terminal handling charges. Since mine was small, I avoided the heavy warehousing fees, but I still had to pay a $25 residential delivery surcharge. The courier basically charged me extra because my house isn't a commercial loading dock. Totaling it all up, $500 for the product, $120 for the forwarder, $45 for docks, $30 for fuel, $37.50 for duties, $50 for the broker, and $25 for residential delivery. My landed cost was $807.50. That moves my per unit cost from $5 to over $8. That's a 60% increase in inventory cost just from logistics. If you were pricing your product based on the $5 quote, you would have lost your profit margins immediately. The biggest mistake beginners make is asking for DDP shipping from the supplier too early. DDP, or delivered duty paid, means the supplier handles all those fees for you. It's easier, but they often pad those costs with a massive markup to cover their risk. My advice? Always ask your supplier for their DDP price and their X Works price. If the difference is more than $150, you're better off hiring your own freight forwarder and handling the customs brokerage yourself. Importing isn't a set-it-and-forget-it business model. It is a logistical puzzle. If you don't calculate the landed cost, which includes every single duty fee and surcharge, before you order, you aren't running a business. You're just paying for expensive samples. Before you place your next order, calculate your total landed cost, including a 20% buffer for unexpected terminal fees. If your margins can't survive that 20% hit, don't press buy. Start by getting 3 different freight forwarding quotes today to see what your true margins look like.